What are some secrets behind these market trends that I think a lot of you guys are ignoring, especially if you guys are new to this market? Now, when I was new to this market, I did not know how to chart, and that was a huge disadvantage that I had, right, when I started over 5+ years ago. It took me a little over a year to get warmed up to charting and to just get a much better idea on where this market could be going based on what I'm seeing on the charts. And that gave me a lot more direction, right? Instead of just basically throwing money blindly at the markets, especially when it's going up. That's probably not the best time. When it's pumping on the day of, especially, that is probably not the best time to trade that token, because even on an uptrend, you will see higher highs and higher lows. And if I buy into the higher high, I will still see a higher low first before the next high, and that low would really you know make you more emotional, okay, let's just say. And that is one thing that I wish I would have learned sooner, right? Learn how to chart right off the bat. But I think there's never too late, um if you got a long-term mindset. Now, if you guys been following my channel for any time at all, you guys know that I talk about charts a lot. And on this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Kava and what I'm seeing on the charts of Kava, and where I think this coin could be going based on what I'm seeing here. Okay, so this is let's go ahead and go to the weekly time frame. Okay, where I mentioned that there was a falling wedge pattern. It is still a valid falling wedge pattern. And why are falling wedge patterns important and why you should know it? It's because it is a bullish pattern that has a higher chance of breaking to the upside. Okay, and this falling wedge pattern is on the weekly time frame, so it could take some time to play out, right? Each candle is a week, right? And this one has been forming since May 2023. Wow. Okay, so this thing has been running in this range for about 2 years, more than 2 years. And if this thing finally breaks out, if Kava finally breaks out of this pattern here, it has a higher chance of breaking to the upside, right? The price target, if it breaks out by this point, for example, okay, price target would be about almost $1.40 Kava. Now that is still a pretty big move because this is still a pretty big altcoin by market cap. Okay, quite a bit of resistance along the way for Kava, including your weekly moving averages, some of which are within the falling wedge pattern itself. Now, what could Kava be doing, and is it likely that it's going to be breaking out on the swing? What I do is I zoom in to a lower time frame and see if I can get any more clarity on what the market could be doing here. Now, I want to mention that a lot of this is going to depend on Bitcoin. The price target, which is an estimate only, there could be more, there could be less. And a lot of it is going to depend on Bitcoin, okay? Because if Bitcoin pumps, that's going to be very good for the altcoins. It is still the driver of this crypto markets. And if Bitcoin dumps, that's going to be very bad for your altcoins. I did a more detailed video on Bitcoin earlier today. I will link you guys at the end of this video. I never trade altcoins without a clear understanding of Bitcoin. I am long on Bitcoin. I am long on quite a bit of the altcoins here. So my opinions on this market right now is bullish. But these are just my opinions, like the entirety of this video, and it's not financial advice. You guys gotta form your own strategies and opinions. But what I'm seeing here for Kava daily time frame, I mentioned this last time. It is a falling wedge pattern that actually has broken down, okay? Because nothing in this market is 100%. Even though falling wedges has a higher chance of breaking to the upside, you have to mind the downside risk as well because they still have a chance of breaking down. And this thing has actually broken to the downside. Let me take a look into the highest, let me check the highest time frame that this falling wedge is valid in. It's basically, I think, the weekly time frame here. If Kava, so a few scenarios could happen for Kava here. If Kava actually breaks back into the pattern, that would invalidate this breakdown, and would invalidate this falling wedge pattern. And we could be looking at some another pattern here instead, and we could come back here to rechart that pattern. But right now, if it does not break back into the falling wedge pattern, the smaller falling wedge pattern there, then what we could be looking at as the next level of support. Let's come over here to the monthly time frame to get a little more clarity. The next support will be about 30 cents. Basically, Kava is almost already there. The next level of support underneath that would be 27 cents, and see if that holds. If that does not hold, then you could be potentially looking at 25 cents. Okay. So that's basically what I'm looking at for Kava here. Let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of this coin or any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe. I'll pick a request to do for you guys on a daily basis. I'll see you on the next one.